Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Sophia Powers about season 2 of Son of A Critch on CBC and CBC Gem. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm really excited to chat. I mean, people were really excited when Son of A Critch was announced that it was returning for season 2. Episodes are starting to roll out in the new year, 2023. I'm sure you, your family, and the cast, everyone's just so excited for more episodes to be out there. What was it like kind of going back for season 2 and shooting Son of A Critch after a successful first season? I'm curious about that.
Well, I mean, it was amazing to see everyone again, and I think it was really interesting to see how well everyone in St. John's in particular took it, because I didn't realize how popular it had gone there, and it was just really nice to see how well received the show was, especially since it takes place there, and so that was it was nice to see that it was making a right fit in the community, especially.
Oh, 100%. That's so well said. And now it's 2 seasons for you playing Fox. So I feel like you're kind of getting to know this character a little bit. Obviously, I feel like even from the viewer perspective, we're meeting these characters for the first time for season 1. So we're not sure about it. But you, as acting as Fox, I'm sure you were kind of getting used to the character and everything. After 2 seasons, what do you like the most about playing this character specifically?
Well, I mean, I love that she's got all these different layers, and like everyone says, she's tough but has this sensitive and vulnerable core that she doesn't like to show to a lot of people, and I think it's really special when she does show that, and she has such a strong force, and she's such a character that, and I think a lot of people can agree with me, you feel like you want to fight for her, even though a lot of the time she's mean, but you just feel a connection with her.
Fox is misunderstood. Do we agree with that? Yeah. One of the most misunderstood characters in a sitcom in years, in my opinion. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like the growth's there from season 1, season 2 with Fox, but with everyone, with Mark, with everyone, pretty much. Yeah. But is there anything specifically we can expect from season 2 of Fox compared to season 1 that's a bit different? Is it just kind of this natural growing of this character? Like, I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely get to see her grow a lot more because she's 13 now, and I mean, she comes back acting a lot older than in the first season already, so that's a lot different for sure. But I think you get to see more of her. You get to see more of the reasoning behind why she does things, and you just get to know more of her, and you get to see more adventures with her and these really sweet moments. And I think it's going to be a great season.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's really cool. We literally started 2023 with Son of A Critch. A couple of days later, we got a new season, which is amazing. A late holiday gift, let's say.
Yeah, for sure.
For the world, for Canada, and also streaming on CBC Gem as well. So we have to mention that as well. I feel like there's a lot of answers to this question, but in terms of, your whole experience working on Son of A Critch, Sophia, I mean, what would you say is your favorite thing about being part of this project specifically? You can name a few if you can't just pick one.
That's a really hard question. I mean, I think the people, obviously, like first and foremost, everyone is so amazing and so sweet, and I mean, I can't imagine working without them because they just make it such a great experience, and they make my life a whole lot easier so much of the time. So I'm thankful to them. And I mean, I also really enjoy the fact that it takes place in the 80s because I love the 80s. Like my parents had brought me up listening to like John Bon Jovi and AC/DC, and like watching Dirty Dancing and The Breakfast Club. So it's like, I felt like it was kind of meant to be able to play a character in the 80s, just because I'm so fascinated by it, and it's definitely my favorite decade.
Is what in terms of like preparing for like going back in time to the 80s, was it just like a lot of music listening? Was it also aesthetic? You wanted to figure out what everyone was going to be wearing? Like, what was that mindset specifically? Was it just all of that basically?
Yeah, I think so. And it was just a lot of, especially talking to my parents and their friends and just people I knew who grew up in that time and what it was like because there was so much freedom with the kids of being able to just go out and do their thing and have to be home by dinner because I've heard so many stories of that from my mom and my dad and so many other people. So I think it was just a lot of understanding what that was like because it's so different from my life right now and growing up, and I'm sure a lot of kids my age can agree with that.
Yeah, the research literally was just like with your parents asking him about what
Yeah.
it was like.
Exactly. And then also sitting down and watching a lot of movies for sure, but that was definitely very fun research.
Absolutely. I love the fact that the show has its kind of um crazy over the top hilarious moments, but I love that it also has just so much heart. I think that's my favorite thing about Son of a Critch.
Oh
There's so
yeah,
much
for
heart.
yeah, it's nice. You get the fun, goofy side, but then you know that it's a grounded show and you can have those heartfelt moments in every episode.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Um if we just talk specifically in general about like acting, storytelling, because Sophia Powers is a storyteller, that's what you do basically. Like, what would you say is like your favorite thing about, being an actor, being a storyteller specifically?
Well, I mean, again, pretty hard question. I mean, it's it's always been something that has interested me and from a very young age especially, and I think it's amazing to be able to explore these different personas and different lifestyles and basically get to live through these characters that I'm playing. And I I also have this amazing opportunity to have a platform to spread great things that not a lot of people have. And so I feel really lucky that this is what I'm doing with my life, for
That's
sure.
very well said. Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. I always remember if someone asks you like what is storytelling, what is acting. Like I remember some actor came on my show once and was saying he was at a friend's his friend's kid's birthday party, and like an 8-year-old came up to him and asked him like, "What do you do for a living?" Because he was an actor, right? And he was like, "I play pretend for a living," and it's kind of like that's basically what it is.
Yeah, for sure. It's a weird thing to think about, but yeah, it's basically just like playing dress up all over again from when you were younger.
I know it's so crazy, and I feel like there's so much to love about storytelling. I love that you said it about your platform because I think that's very important. I think people don't realize that as well. I'm not. You can even because we this is the first time you're on Pop Alternative, so we didn't chat for season one. So if there's anything that happened in season one, you could talk about. But like any like fun like on set or off set kind of stories or moments that you could share with
Well,
me specifically.
I mean, there's a lot. The cast and we're all so close. There's been a lot of parties, a lot of like dinner parties, especially, and we've done like a karaoke night. This season actually going out, we Mark Critch took Ben and I and our parents out fishing, and it
Oh,
was a couple days into arriving at St. John's, and it was nice to see them again, and it was such an amazing thing that Mark did, and yeah, it was. I know my mom and I we really enjoyed doing that, and that was something that I think I'll always remember because it was such a meaningful moment.
does it sometimes like feel like school sometimes when you get to work with awesome actors like Mark and like Colton? Like, does it feel like it's just you're working, but you're just learning all the time too? Like, I feel like that's a pretty cool thing.
I mean, I definitely am learning all the time. I don't feel like it's school or work because I mean it's the typical saying of you love what you do and you don't
Yeah,
want to say no.
exactly. It doesn't even
So
feel like work. It's
yeah,
true. Yeah.
no, I love it. I don't like when I have to do school on set. Like when we kind of cross over into when I'm supposed to be back at school. That's when I'm like, no, not for me.
Who likes
Um,
homework? Find one
yeah,
person that
no,
likes homework. It's not gonna exist. Don't worry about it.
no, but I mean, I love being around everyone, and I love it's just you get such a a high and adrenaline rush off of everything that you do when you're working on set, and you're around so many nice people. It's hard not to enjoy every minute of it.
No, it's that's so well said. And new episodes of season 2 of Son of a Critch are rolling out on CBC every week, and they will be available to watch for free on the app CBC Gem as well. Sophia, thank you for joining me on Pop Turner. It was so great chatting with you.
Yeah, it was really nice talking to you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So like I said, they're going to be able to check them out. I would also, if they're watching this interview and they haven't watched season 1 of Son of a Critch, I mean, they know what to do, right? They gotta go watch it, right?
You gotta do that.
Absolutely. And speaking of like your platform and everything, Instagram, I feel like is the best way for people to keep up to date with everything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it just your name, or is it like what's the handle specifically?
It's official Sophia Powers.
Awesome. So they could check that out. That's awesome. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, you of course can catch Sophia Powers as Fox in season 2 of Son of a Critch on CBC and streaming free on CBC Gem. Till next time, this is Sophia and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.